Yep.
Is that what you post it after? Or?
Well, actually, it'll stay.
Oh,
on,
okay.
on
So
Twitch.
people can still see it.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I think it's like 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
But after this, I'll download it and then get you a copy.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So you're look at us. That looks good. We have some people in the chat. Are you making Andy a mod right now? Sorry, we're late, folks. I couldn't figure out which hat to wear, but I think it's looking good.
How's the sound?
Oh, ask Andy. How's the audio, Andy? Can you hear us? We are in a loud punk dive bar, arcade room. That's a game. Sound is good. Electric Mark. Watch out, it looks like it's about to put a space in there. I think it put a space in his name. An X that out. Yeah, there you go. All right, so we're here. We're live. Glad you guys joined us. We're in the Electric Battle Arcade. A little bit late. I'm sure some other people will come in here. Have a few announcements. I want to tell you guys we are nominated for a TWIPY award, and for what is it? Favorite location?
Yes.
Any location, or just pinball location?
Well, it is pinball, but that's only implied. So technically, we are up for, I think, your favorite location in the whole world.
Favorite location in the whole world. Go vote for us. There's a bunch of other good stuff you can vote for. Podcasters, themes, pinball themes, pinball light shows, I think sound, all that good stuff. Go to twippies.com and please vote for us. We want to get on there on the big stage. It's like the Oscars of the pinball world. Is it? What do you say? Oscars or Grammys or
Whichever
something?
one is bigger? Which one's bigger?
I don't know.
Whatever's
I don't know.
above that.
I don't know.
We're
The people at home will
Damascus
probably.
Award.
That's right. Also, we'd like to thank, per usual, Game Room Goodies for sponsoring our stream. They help us out so much. And call those guys if you want a pinball machine. Probably have to get on the list. Huh?
Get on the
They're
list.
hard to get. But they have all kinds of stuff. They can probably find you a good used car. Those guys are really handy. So check out Game Room Goodies. Google Game Room Goodies Arizona. And even if you're not in Arizona, give them a call. They can find all kinds of stuff for you. Video games, pool tables, ski ball. Anything else? Any other announcements? Or do we have anything going on?
We have our usual Tuesday tournaments. That we've got a reset of the Battle for the Bat Belt.
Oh yeah.
So if you're local to us and you come to tournaments, it's a good time to keep coming.
You're right. You are 100% right. And we are probably going to stream this later on in the year. We'll probably be at Jake's house. Jake is the executive producer of this game, Jake Danzig, because we want to get this game to win a TWIPY. So we're a little late getting it in, but we're gonna win it next year. So we'll do another stream. Watch out for that. And right now, we'd like to introduce the creators of the game, Kaydee and Olivia Helm. You wanna tell us a little backstory on this and maybe some of the features you've added? Yeah, go with it.
Absolutely. So this is Dukes of Hazzard pinball that Kaydee and I, as Outpost Kodelia, have.
I'm sorry. Just so you know, camera's over here.
Cameras over here and the mic's over here.
Yeah.
This is weird to get used to. Hi, camera. Kaydee and I have produced this for Jake Danzig. This is Jake's dream theme that we put together for him. Graphics all came from CPR's custom shop and Mad Voodoo Graphics, so we put that all together. This started as a Paragon, a European re-import, I believe. Didn't have the upper split flipper, so we did a brand new. We did brand new playfield, brand new wiring, brand new hardware, some extra mechs that we're going to talk about, and a 2, a 3-ball multi-ball, and they can be stacked. I think that about covers. Kaydee, you've got some of the stats on some of the hardware
and you can carry those into the other multi-ball for a 4-ball.
Yes.
Yeah, so 3 different multi-balls total.
We have, some of you might have seen, if you've seen it go through some of the rules demonstrations, and we'll jump to that, is the memory drop targets. You don't see a lot of early valleys. I don't think I've seen any inline drop targets.
No, I don't think it existed.
That have memory, but we added the knockdown coils. And,
that was a custom 3D printed design that bolted onto the existing mech so that we could then put some of the little knockdown coils in, and that way we could carry over, because there's a lot more going on in this game than there is in a standard Paragon. And we wanted you to have the ability to kind of carry your progress ball to ball instead of starting over. So if you've got 2 down, you drain. When it's your turn again, you'll have 2 down again, and if each player will have their own separate, no problem.
So this mostly plays like Paragon, except you have a few major changes. The Hazard and Creek Saucer both have 2-ball multi-balls available from them. If you spell out Hazard, that will be qualified for a 2-ball multi-ball. If you collect the 20,000 point value at the Creek, then the next shot there will start a 2-ball multi-ball. Those can stack. They have jackpots available at the saucers again. The longer you keep the multi-ball going, the more switch hits you get, the larger those jackpots will increase. So there's a little risk reward to keep the balls in play and hit more switches.
Yeah, and after 3 jackpots, you'll see this will light up over here. You'll see a little show of lights, and that will become your super jackpot collect. And again, if you've got the 2 multi-balls going, you could potentially have both of those with a super jackpot ready over here to collect.
And your super jackpots can be doubled depending on which one you're at, either with a series of spin hits or by knocking down these drop targets. So add a little value on those targets in the spinner. Main multi-ball is a real fun chase mode, and then getting everyone to the boar's nest. So by knocking down these inline targets, you open up access to that back scoop, which in Paragon gives you your 5x multiplier. In this game it does that too, but it will hold that ball, launch another ball onto the playfield, start the police sirens, and you'll be in a chase mode where you have to build up the speed of the General Lee in order to escape from Roscoe. Just by keeping the ball in play, getting more switch hits. If you fail to do that, you'll get your ball back, and you'll be back in single ball play.
Yeah, and by fail to do that, she means drain. So if you drain, it ejects the ball that was held. That way there's no lock stealing. You just go back to normal play and try again.
Then if you get the General Lee speed up, you get into one of those saucers. It's going to start the Boar's Nest Wizard mode, and that's where we need to collect all of our characters from the Dukes of Hazzard and get them into that saucer right at the end. So each of the areas of the playfields will be lit.
Well, yeah, and so that'll start by kicking out the ball in the saucer, kicking out the ball in the upper saucer, and plunging a 3rd ball. So that's when you jump into your 3-ball multi-ball.
Yep. So you'll have to traverse the entire play field, changing all the light shows solid, and you'll get these character collects as you do it. These drop targets will stay up, and the more you hit them, the more you can double that collect at the end.
But they'll just keep popping back up.
They'll keep popping back up. Once you've collected all the areas, these targets will all drop down for a collect up here, which will give you a big bonus depending on how many times you hit the various areas of the playfield, if you got super jackpots earlier in the game, things like that. So again, up to 4 balls on the playfield. It's got configurable ball save. We got lots of audio clips from the show,
and just to back up real quick, the one interesting thing that'll happen that might throw some people if they're playing this at the end of that, if you do manage to finish that wizard mode by getting that last shot up there after the drops come down, what will happen is it'll hang onto that ball. These flippers are going to die. They're just going to go dead no matter what you're doing over here. The balls will drain. You'll see a big sequence on the displays and light shows showing you all the points you've collected. Then it will eject that ball and you'll be back to single ball play. You can try it all again.
All right. So, do you want to show people some gameplay and then
I'll let you do that since you've got a better chance at making those shots.
Let's see if I can get to the boar's nest.
While Olivia's playing, I'll talk about some of the other stuff we've done. So, as we mentioned, we added a 4-ball multi-ball trough in here, which was a significant change. You've still got the standard out hole here with a kicker over, but it just kicks it into the trough. So we were able to leverage the existing hardware, add some new hardware, and kind of get this unique 2-piece trough mechanism to handle those ball drains. One thing you will see, it's already expired, but we've added ball save to this. You'll see this escape again will light up when you've got the ball save active. I think we forgot to mention there is a skill shot in this as well. If you plunge, there's that little advanced bonus at the very top of the playfield. If you hit that, and it's kind of a progressive skill shot. So if you hit that, and then any other shot, you'll get the basic skill shot. If you hit that, and then hit the second little star roll over there in the creek area, you'll get a bigger skill shot reward. If you happen to hit those two and then that creek saucer next, get all 3 of those in a row, that's the maxed out skill shot.
How much do you get for that?
Oh boy, I don't remember.
It starts at 10,000, it'll go to 15, then 20, and then as you get it on for additional balls, it just keeps building.
Okay.
So here's an interesting thing. You might have noticed when it hit
the
that
jail.
top over here that it turns red. Being the jail, this was an idea that Jake had. That actually subtracts points from your score when you hit the jail.
I've been wanting that feature in a game for years.
For now it's kind of basic and it just takes some points away. As we kind of evolve the code a little bit more, we think it might get a little more aggressive, maybe take a percent of your score
Ball
away so that
save.
even when you're doing really well, it's more painful instead of like, I don't care.
Oh, I like that.
What's 10 points? Make it more painful and progressive.
Okay, I really would like to hit these drop targets on this ball. There's, bally drop targets. Those are still bally drop targets. They don't always respond to direct contact. I made us not be warmed up.
Yeah. So let's see, what else can we talk about on here that we've done?
There's one.
I'm gonna need you to repeat almost all of it.
And that's-
whenever I'm actually playing it.
We figure we're going to be repeating that at least 100 times today, and we're good with that. So I guess I can talk a little bit about what this is built on. So this is, as some people might know, as some people might know, this is the second custom game we've made like this, based off of an older game. We'd previously done a Williams Phoenix converted to the Black Hole, the 1970s Disney movie. Some of you might have played it, seen it. We added it ZapCon. We did them both very similarly, where we use this software called the Mission Pinball Framework. It gives you a lot of the underlying infrastructure. So you don't have to think, how do I send a signal to the game board to make a flip happen, or to make a pop fire, or drop a target, or light up a light. You just tell it, I want a light to light up, and these are my lights, and it kind of handles a lot of that underlying interaction with the hardware for you, so you focus on making a game.
How much does that
pass.
cost?
There, you did it, the tap pass. That was a fun thing. I'm sorry?
How much does that cost if somebody wanted to go down this path?
Sure. So the Mission Pinball Framework itself is open source. It's free. In fact, if you are a Python developer, you are welcome to contribute to the code base. They have a very good community, lots of people working together, adding things, fixing bugs. But that part of it's no cost. And they've also got a nice Google group that you can get support on and all kinds of stuff. So both of them were based on that. Oh no.
All right, I've got it open. You might have heard the yee-haw there too. If you go down this in lane and you hit the spinner will be worth more for that shot, and you'll hear the yee-haw sound.
Yeah, that's a little skill shot in the game there.
That's a combo. The in lane and the spinner gives you 1,000 points to spin for that shot, and gives you the yee-haw.
So the Mission Pinball Framework is kind of your core software that runs the game, but you've also got to have hardware. Oh no, you got the rare escape breakthrough.
All right. it's not lit
So
over
you've
there.
also got to have, oh no, it's that problem.
Yeah, it's that problem.
Okay,
We've
this
seen
is
it
our
before,
one bug we haven't been able to fix because we so rarely see it.
and we haven't reproduced it in a while either.
Yeah, and that's where you get that 5th drop target down, or the last one, and it doesn't start the scoop up there for the final shot. We'll see what happens here. There it is.
Oh,
now
there.
it's ready.
All right. We'll have to
Fixed
check
itself.
the logs for that, but
Yeah, that's another great thing about MPF. Super verbose logging. So like every little switch hit, event, everything in massive amounts of detail. Tens of megabytes of log we'll have to go through when we get home. But anyways, that's the software. Hardware, then you've got a lot of choices. There's the big ones out there right now. There's the fast pinball system.
Okay.
There is people familiar with Multimorphic will know the P-Rock system. That's in their own custom games. That's what we used in the Black Hole. That's a really good system, but its strength is more probably in a straight up brand new custom game. When you're doing a retheme, it was probably overkill for the Black Hole. So for this one, we used a newer system called the Cobra Pen, and that was developed by Thomas Fullenwilder. And based on OPP, which is Open Pinball Project, which is a
Now you know me.
yeah, no, not that. You distracted me. They were a group trying to make it easier to make pinball hardware more standardized. So it's a kind of standard for hardware and low-level interaction software code that MPF has implemented interactions with, Cobra Pen implemented on the hardware side, and with one little board, you hook up all your switches, all your lights, all your coils. They have add-on boards if you want a whole bunch of extra coils or a whole bunch of extra lights. And that board right now is about, I think, right around $200. So pretty affordable.
In the pinball world, that's inexpensive.
Right. Yeah, whereas the P-Rock system, if you really wanted to go for broke with a bigger game, that can, depending on how many switches and lights and whatever you want to control, they have lots of different little breakout boards. So that can easily get up to like $1,000 by the time all's said and done. So it's definitely a more expensive approach, but it's also more expandable and configurable and whatnot. But we used the Cobra Pen for this, and it worked fantastic for us.
So if you were going to retheme another Valley era game, classic Valley era game, you would go with the Cobra stuff again?
Yep. In fact, we've already got our next project in line. We're thinking about we're going to take an old Raven and turn it into our first rock theme pin and do the Eagles.
All right.
My all-time favorite band growing up. So you can see Olivia here has got the big multi-ball going. She's also ready to... Oh, you've got the two going together. That's what's going on here.
I like that the displays tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
I saw earlier that it said, do this for this.
Yeah, we had a lot of conversations around how much do we put on there, when's the right time to show stuff, and we still probably haven't fully decided on exactly how that's all going to go. But those displays themselves were custom designed, custom built, because the original was just standard numeric displays. But we wanted to add the alphanumeric so that we could do high scores and initial entry and that kind of stuff.
Right,
as well as all those messages we display.
So you kind of saw me fail out of Boar's Nest. Boar's Nest is a multi-ball, but it will continue until you drain the last ball or you complete it. And I needed to complete all 6 areas of the playfield. I need to get a certain number of pops and spins, both saucers. The oil slick and these drop targets all had to go down. And our high score entry, since we did the reset, we're going to have to mess with that a little. I did get all 6 of those areas. They were to cause those drop targets to come down, and I'd complete the mode there at the upper saucer. So hopefully we'll see someone do that today. I was close.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see plenty of that.
And if you saw just before I entered that police chase mode, I did have my hazard qualified, which I would have started first, but I just wanted to make sure we got to see the police lights at some point real quick. So I think it may be someone else's turn to play.
Yeah.
Or if
Jake,
you want to
give it a spin?
Yeah, Jake, why don't you give it a play, and maybe you could talk a little bit about
So we're gonna
what
bring
inspired you to...
We're gonna bring up Jake Danzig. He was the, the owner. This is his brainchild. He put up the funds. He brought us in to do all of this assembly and coding and programming and kind of of bring his vision to life. So, Jake, you want to play a game and talk about what made you want to do this?
It's been in the back of my mind for over a decade. I put together a group of people. I wanted to have a hand in it. Turns out I asked all the right people, and Kaydee and Olivia absolutely blew away all my expectations for it. When I was coming up with this idea, it was actually going to be quite a bit more simplistic than it is now. But all the ideas Kaydee and Olivia came up with were just perfect. Ah!
Yeah,
I did like 3 tap passes.
Yeah, Olivia did a couple of successful ones. The tap pass is an interesting thing with a modern electronic game where you have software-controlled flippers and switches rather than that direct wire that you used to see. Tap passing can be an interesting thing. One of the nice things, again, the MPF and the Cobra Pin people work together on to make sure that tap passing is possible. Essentially, you set it up with every coil in the game is set up with like a pulse time, like how long will that coil fire before power is released. You can also have it adjust how it holds the coil and whatnot. But the tap passing is super easy to implement. You basically set your minimum power to 1 millisecond. So if you hit the flipper, you can hit it just 1 millisecond, it'll pulse the coil for just 1 millisecond. Give you a nice little tap pass. If you hold it, it keeps that power going all the way up through the stroke, where the end of stroke switches go ahead and do your hold for you. You could have done pulse wave modulated holds, like modern games tend to do, where you would hear that little bit of hum as they hold. But on this game with these flipper mechs, it was super loud, so we just went with the old-fashioned end of stroke switch. It worked out pretty well. Alright, so Jake's got his boar's nest going. He's got to lock that hazard area up at the top here, but otherwise he's got him mostly locked in. Oh, and then he's got to get the little oil slick on the side. Oh, there it is. Almost.
So now that this is leaving you all's house permanently and moving all the way over to Jake's house, whenever you want to update stuff, do you email Jake a file? How does like,
Yeah.
I'm interested in like how does this work?
So, long term, we haven't quite figured out exactly how we want it to work, but short term, it's still totally doable. We put all of the code for this in a GitHub repository. So, the game itself actually just pulls code from the repository with just a single command line entry. We would eventually like to automate that and put it in the menu so you can just say update and it'll just pull the latest code and away you go. Haven't gotten that far yet, but if he finds a bug or says, hey, I really love if this sound played earlier or later or whatever, we can make that change in the code on our end. We can test it in a little emulator, make sure it's working the way we think we want it to work, push it up to the repository, he can pull it down and he's got the update. It's all hooked up to Wi-Fi, or will be, and
So technically this is like a new start.
kinda,
Yeah, I can just,
yeah.
let me get my code.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like checker flags.
Yeah, and anyone who's used to these old games with the displays, if you want to do settings or whatever, and we'll show this in a little more detail later. But if you want to do
totally
settings,
broken.
you had to do, like a number code up here, and then set it to a different number code over here, and you'd have to have a book and a sheet in the manual that told you what those codes meant, if you wanted to make it 2-ball or 3-ball or whatever, and it was a super big pain in the butt. what we've done instead is there's, in the coin box area, there's a little 4-inch LED screen, or
I saw
LCD
that.
screen.
I took a
Yeah.
picture of it. Well, later on, we have this extra camera angle so we can give you kind of a tour around the machine.
Yeah, we'll probably open it up and show the guts a little bit. But that little screen lets you just go through settings like you would on big screen on any other modern game, so it makes it real easy to do settings there too. So it's more like a modern game than you think looking at it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like the little Star Wars display, but it's inside the machine.
Yeah. Put under.
All right. You guys keep talking. I'll see if I can show a tap pad since we've been asked for that again.
All right.
Here you go, Dalton.
I did it a few times the first time I played, but it's definitely possible. You can kind of see the
Dalton is a good friend of ours from Georgia, and he is the Georgia state champion.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I promise you can tap pass on this. I just have to get it over there. That wasn't it. My tap pass isn't great, but I can do it. There we go. See if I can get it this time. Okay, that was a little too much. It's close. A little more than we wanted.
So the last piece of the hardware, so you've got the software, you've got that controller board. You also need a computer to drive the whole thing. And this is true for pretty much all of the systems. So there's a little mini upboard computer.
There, that
up
was a
there
tap.
as well.
It's not the one you usually want. There we
There we
go.
go.
Okay, a little too much, but I
no.
thought it was going to bounce.
Yeah, not with that tap passing down.
But yes, you can tap pass on here. That was a very important design element that we had to keep. Although now in standard Paragon, it matters a lot more. So much of the value is here. We have put some value on the other end of the playfield. There's a couple multi-balls that you can advance towards if you can put the ball up there and get it in those saucers.
So you got some score balancing 4 years
Yeah,
later.
that is
Yes.
always a thing. That's a big thing we try to do in Black Hole as well, is make different areas of the value of the playfield a little more valuable and add some more risk reward. So for all of the multi-balls, hitting more shots, keeping the balls in play longer, can drive up those jackpot values that are available. Of course, you can't play this in control like you can a lot of. I should stop talking.
You gotta ball
playing. You can't play the multi-balls in control like you can on some of the modern games because of the split flippers. So you really have to keep those balls in motion, yet delaying when you go for the jackpots can help them grow, but you take a lot of risk because it's harder to keep the balls in play.
I hope my Sinbad play is
Yeah, I have played this better. That was just an embarrassingly poor game right there.
Speaking of embarrassingly poor games, Kale, do you want to play?
Yeah,
a game
let's
with
get you
me?
guys up here.
Let's get you guys up here. So,
So you
we're gonna
said
have
this is not working?
Yeah, it's starting at the end.
Oh, yeah, I wonder
Ever
if that's
since we
the-
did the high score reset.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we tested the high
Well,
score
I
reset.
think it might have been because you skipped it with yours. That might have
Okay.
broken it.
All right, we'll see if that fixes it. If not, we'll address that later. We had to do. So MPF gives you a lot of things when you're using a display screen. We had to hack a lot of them to kind of get them to work with the segment displays.
Okay, all right.
So it's rebooting. It'll take about a minute. The blue tells you it's thinking. That's
Okay, so
that's
that
the
means, like,
default Cobra pin
the
color.
don't worry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything is working. So did we talk about the segment displays at all?
A little
Those are
bit.
kinda cool.
Yeah, a little bit. So it's a really interesting concept, and this again, we don't get credit for this. I'm giving credit to Thomas Fullenweiler, the guy behind Cobra Pen, because he made very similar displays. Problem is he didn't have them in the color and the exact character size that we wanted, so we needed to kind of roll our own, but we very much modeled it after his design. And the idea is the same chips that control all the little RGB lights are used on those displays, but instead of RGB to set the color for the light, the red channel sets one segment, the green sets a segment, the blue sets a segment, and then we've got 16 segments across 7 digits, so we just needed enough chips on there to drive all of
42
those.
chips for each
guys
I
are
remember
absolutely amazing.
whenever you had.
And then,
described that.
about 1,000 lines of configuration in MPF to address all of those individual segments and tell them their characters and what position they're in. And
All right, so we are ready to go.
Yeah.
You guys want to set up a 2-player game? And,
All right, coach us through it.
yep. So you're pretty much starting out.
This is just me and you.
Okay.
Pretty much
Buddy.
starting out playing Paragon. It's the same scoring. You got your bonus increase up here.
All right. I want to go for the skill shot, the fanciest skill
the
shot.
fancier skill shot would be hitting that advanced bonus first, and it needs a light show. The advanced bonus, and then the rollover, and then that saucer will give you the best skill shot.
That was too. I got no skill shot.
No skill shot there. You have advanced creek, advanced hazard.
How many hours do you think that you and Kaydee combined have put into this?
How many hours do you think Kaydee it's got to be in the hundreds.
Yeah, I couldn't even count. Because
People always want to know that.
Yeah, so we didn't do any of the art. We didn't have to deal with the playfield art, but we had to strip the old playfield. We had to, polish all the metal parts. We had to order 1 million parts from, Marco and Pinball Life and you name it. I think
Probably
some
even Pinball Resource.
Yeah, some came from Pinball Resource. So sourcing parts all over the place. Then we had to build the new playfield with all that. The old cabinet had to be sanded, painted, all the art applied. That was like right in the middle of summer when it was super hot too, so that was, real fun work. But hundreds and hundreds of hours, because then you got all the coding and everything that went into that.
You're definitely seeing the.
You had a
ball
ball
save.
save.
Oh, nice. There is a
With the
ball
exception
save.
of the ball
Yes,
save,
there
you're
is.
definitely seeing the Paragon roots of this game, and that's very hard. So think of like a full Paragon restoration, and creating a new wiring harness, and writing all brand new code, and designing 12 circuit boards, and like testing all new rules. Yeah, it's a big project.
So there's probably a good time. I pulled some statistics together, and this probably segues nicely into that. So we've got 167 fully controllable lights in this game, and that includes to some degree the segment display. Or no, that's not including the segment displays. Those are extra. 10 custom PCBs we designed throughout this, and we'll show some of those a little bit later. The custom score displays themselves. Over 700 feet of wire went into this. All that wire has to have plugs at the end of it, and you've got to crimp all those wires. Over
I feel your pain there.
Over 1,300 crimps went into this.
Wow.
There's 23 coils versus the original 19. We've got 48 switches. We had to essentially wire a brand new switch matrix from scratch for this. We designed 16 different parts that are 3D printed in this. We pulled 137 different voice clips from the shows for all
Nice.
the different audio callouts that happen throughout this. There's at least 800 lines of custom Python code that we wrote to handle things that Mission Pinball just didn't give us that we needed. And for the stuff that Mission Pinball did give us, there's about 26,000 lines of configuration that went into making the game do all the stuff we wanted it to do. So that gives you some idea of how many hours that might have taken. But we didn't actually count the hours. But when did we start working on this? We started in...
So we have some questions coming in. They're scrolling by, but I know one of them is Dixie. Is the Dixie horn?
horn's in here.
Dixie horn is in there.
So it's probably hard to hear, but yeah, once you get the drops down and start the chase, the sirens are going. You get your speed up and then lock one of those saucers to start the boar's nest mode. Before it kicks that ball out, you'll see the lights flash orange, and you'll hear the Dixie horn and a yee-haw right as that mode starts.
Nice.
I might end up there's like
So yes,
AJ
the Dixie
Swizzle.
horn's in here, but you gotta earn it.
Yeah, and if you guys have any other questions, just drop them in the chat, and then we'll do our best to answer.
And if we've missed some, please ask them
Yeah,
again.
just ask them again. So the other thing to go with that kind of is music. So the music that we have that you hear throughout the game, we obviously didn't want to have the theme song playing constantly and forever.
Sure.
It would just get old.
Sure.
So but Jake was also really passionate about keeping as much of this true to Dukes of Hazzard as he could. So what we found is that there was a PlayStation 2 Dukes of Hazzard game that they had pulled together this whole soundtrack for that was available. So there were about 12 tracks there that were officially Dukes of Hazzard related. That's the music you hear played randomly as you start a ball.
Wow.
If you get into that boar's nest mode, then right after that Dixie horn, you do get to finally hear the Dukes theme song.
Very
So
cool.
and if you finish the Dukes of Hazzard mode, you get to hear the end credits music.
Very good.
I'm sorry, if
And-
you finish the boards,
And
then you
was
get,
it? I think that's Waylon Jennings, right?
yeah, Waylon Jennings did the original music.
Who actually lived here?
I think that's
Yeah.
right,
How about that? That's a little connection there.
Yeah.
He also was the narrator on the show. And,
Amazing. You probably knew that, Jake, right? Waylon Jennings. Yeah, Jake knows all that. I used to love watching Dukes of Hazzard. I had the car, I had the figures, I had the lunchbox. I don't know where it is now. Mom, if you're watching, try to find that stuff. right. I know a lot of people wanted me to wear Daisy Dukes leading up to this.
I was gonna be Cooter.
I couldn't find a size small enough. It's weird.
the other thing, I don't know how well you guys can hear the game audio, but when your ball is sitting here in the launcher, you hear an engine idling, and that is a charger engine you hear idling. And then when you finally launch, you hear a big burnout and the engine rev up. That is also an actual charger, so we tried to even keep that part true.
So we have, looks like we have a question on the chat about the artwork.
Okay, you want to go?
Yeah. So the artwork was designed by Stu of Mad Voodoo Graphics, and then this was all printed through Classic Playfield Reproductions Custom Shop. And Jay can talk a little bit more about that process since he did it, if you like. But you go on the CPR's website. Eventually you'll see photos of this machine, but you'll see some other examples of their work too. So they can pretty much put your art or design art for you on any playfield that they've run if you're retheming a game. You know, so in this case, they've done the Paragon playfield, so they have the CAD drawings and such.
Oh, I did something.
So they can reproduce that. All right, so you got one of the two balls going. Looks like you might even start the other. Yeah, you got both two ball multi-balls going.
Wow.
So you got jackpots in both those saucers. Once you've collected 3, you'll have super jackpots at the oil slick.
So we had another question. There's no Koi and Vance, right? I can happily tell you, to those who don't know Koi and Vance, that is the 5th season. The majority of the 5th season had some alternate actors in the show.
I remember that.
That was Koi and Vance playing those. So, no, that is not in here. Jake didn't want it in here, and you don't hear their voices.
No Koi and Vance.
No reference to those whatsoever. We wiped them out.
So we still have Hazard and Greek multi-ball running. Looks like they just ended, but Kale could have started the chase sequence with those multi-balls running as well.
Cool, that was
Ended
super
up-
fun.
Ended up with
I did something. Look at that.
Yeah, you
Is
stacked. You stacked both Creek and Hazard.
Is it a 3-ball game?
You can get to 4.
Oh.
Yeah, it's max of 4.
Yeah,
What
if
would
you
have
carry
had to do,
one of those multi-balls in.
you had your saucer open here. You would have had to start the chase to get through the chase sequence. But if you had done that, you would have been in a 4-ball with all 3 running at the same time.
This is amazing. Wow.
So
I
someone
wish
said-
everybody could play this thing. This plays so incredibly well.
Right. The reboot seems to have fixed our high score
Yeah,
entry.
I think it was because you entered one
Oh, did
without
I
it.
do? I
think.
did something?
So I'll have to
Yeah.
catch that
Oh.
little bug.
Yeah, so
All right, so how do I do this?
flipper buttons and the start button.
Okay.
And you can do up to 6 characters.
Oh, okay. Let's do this. Because I'm probably the only Kale that's going to play it.
Yeah.
And then at the end, there'll be you'll find an asterisk if you want to stop it there. So,
Okay, so-
Scroll till you see an asterisk.
Scroll to-
Okay. Awesome. How about that?
Yeah, so and we're actually we're gonna track this play today, and whoever's got the high score for the day, we're gonna have a prize for them.
Awesome.
got-
You can win a prize.
Finally.
this one's yours. So
Oh, well then let's.
And someone asked, they said it's hard to hear. Yes, the art was done by Classic Playfield Reproductions.
Yeah, CPR.
CPR,
shop.
the custom shop, and the art itself was done by Mad Voodoo, Stu Wright. Yeah, we do have another camera. We'll show off what the artwork looks like a little bit later, as well as we're probably going to lift the hood and look inside and kind of show it all off.
And if any of you at home want any of this cool attire that we're wearing, go to electricbatarcade.com/shop and we can send it out for you tomorrow.
All right. Well,
yeah. So what? You want to play a 4-player game? Or?
Yeah, let's play a
let's do it.
4-player game, and then
Okay.
we can maybe take a tour around the cabinet and some of
Okay.
the inside.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and go first. Get us started. This will also prove that 4-player games work on this machine. We already know that, but it's good to show everyone.
So, Kaydee, we have a pretty big question here.
Yeah.
I mean, Olivia, sorry.
Yes. Can you make another machine?
Basically, are you for hire?
So
It's certainly something we can talk about.
there's two answers to that question. Can we make another machine? First of all, technically yes. Jake did get a second set of artwork for this, and he has a second Paragon, so we could put a second one together. Oh no.
Wasn't going to happen. I had to try something, but I was dead. I was dead.
were
I
you
just didn't
scissor
know
locked?
it. I was scissor locked.
Oh, okay.
All right, who wants to be player 2?
Go ahead.
So,
I'll go.
so Jake got basically 2 of everything from the custom shop, so he may ask us to build another. We're not sure where it'll end up yet. Obviously, we're not mass producing this. We don't have a Dukes of Hazzard license. You know, this is kind of a fan service, fan-made project. You got ball saved. As far as are we for hire, talk to us. I mean, it's a lot of hours. It's expensive. Talk to us. We always like doing this stuff.
Yeah. There we go. There's 2. Oh, denied. Too early. There was that in lane, just spinner shot. There was a tap pass. Ah, come on. Ah, there we go.
Okay. Let's show the Duke boys what's up.
So, between you and me, that's 1 for me.
That's one for you.
A big one.
Big.
Big
You
one,
beat
yeah.
me. You were like 10 times my score. That was a significant win. I've got to hand it to you. Maybe it has something to do with you being raised in the South.
That's right.
Could have to do with your you wore your lucky underwear.
I pulled out the good pair for this stream. The one good pair.
My. Oh.
It's not like Rick and Morty. It doesn't have the no slam save.
Yeah. I have a feeling Jake may be putting a rubber across here.
to try to get to the wizard mode, maybe.
Yeah, he floated some ideas of maybe having like a pop-up pin there
wow,
that could,
yeah,
like, under
post?
certain conditions
Yeah.
protect you, but
Oh,
Oh.
hey, that's how the old ball drains.
You got 2
Oh,
of
I
them.
got it. Ball save. Never step away.
Looks like Stu is in the chat, doing some.
Oh, all
Hey,
right.
hey, Berto, good to see you.
And yeah, Stu did the artwork through it's at Mad Voodoo and Custom Playfield Reproductions produced it through their custom shop. So shout out to Stu. Nice to see you in the chat.
And later on, when we can show you the cabinet art and all of the other stuff, it is a beautiful machine.
See if I can build up towards my 2-ball multi-balls. That was a bad start. Oh, I tilted. Woo.
That's
It
tight.
does have a tilt. Yeah, it's a little tight.
It'll keep people from getting crazy. You're up, Kaydee.
Kaydee, you're up.
I'm up.
You're up. I tilted.
Tilted. All right. Nothing. So, another interesting thing with this was sound effects. So,
You're
when
in the ratchet.
Yep. Yeah. So there's a lot of you don't want everything to just be silent, aside from the music. So, but we also wanted to pick stuff that was, to the best of our ability, true to the game, or true to the show. And that wasn't always easy, so just coming up with this, we got car door slams for some of the drop targets, and you hear the ratchets on the slings for kind of Cooter doing his repairs. So there's lots of like tangential stuff.
I think you did a great job with that, because nothing's like, sounds weird or something. That's usually a pretty good sign that you did it right.
Yeah, and you got some explosions on the pop bumper, or gunshots on the pop bumpers. There wasn't a whole lot of gun shooting in there, but there was some. Hey, I'm winning.
Yeah, it looks like you'll start the next fall with Creek qualified. You're pretty close to qualifying Hazzard.
Okay, so what happens here? This is where I get the big points. So local folks, at about 3 o'clock, you all can come down here and play this. Today until 10 p.m. the game is going to be set up. It's a one-day only event.
All right, here we go. Good to see you guys. It's really good to see all of y'all again. We are actually going to start streaming regularly again, so keep an eye out on our social media. We kind of we slowed down because the arcade got so busy, and we had a lot of time during shutdown, but we are wide open. Yeah, did you have something to say?
I had a question about if we could make the game sound louder. A couple of people have asked.
Yeah.
We can, but I think without another microphone, it's probably going to be hard to hear regardless.
Well, if we turn it up a little bit.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, so let's finish this game and we'll turn it up.
Okay, no problem.
Sometimes the service mode gets a little cranky when
Okay.
the game's running. Should be fine now, but I don't want to test it.
Wish me luck. Oh, but maybe ball save?
Yeah, you've got, it's coming.
I see
Yeah,
a
your
shoot
light's
again
still
light
on.
going.
You got that escape again there down to the right, too.
Oh, I see, yeah.
I so rudely interrupted you while you were talking about the arcade getting busy, and that's one of the reasons we have the mic towards us, so you're not necessarily hearing everybody play Bishy Boshy and Fishtails over there.
Yeah, well, we can turn up the volume when this game ends. Okay, I have not done much of anything. I don't even have any drop targets now. There we go, there's one. Too early.
So is that a silicone or polyurethane? The rubber?
Kaydee will know that. I don't remember.
So these are the super bands. I don't remember what they are. Thank you.
Okay. So if anybody was wondering, we are playing on Superband type rubber. That's a polyurethane.
And that was purely a question of color. They were the
okay.
best, brightest orange that we could find.
There you go.
That really fit the game theme.
Superband made by the fine folks at Marco Specialties.
There we go. All right.
Yep, and you'll notice this is not the standard kind of white with the word flipper on top flipper that used to be on there.
Yeah, we didn't feel like that one really fit.
Yeah, with the modern feel of the game, it just didn't work. And we could only find those in yellow, so I had to paint it black and clear coat it to protect it, and then get a rubber on it. But it came out fantastic. One of the many little tweaks.
Alright. Got my speed up. Now I just gotta hit one of those saucers. And I'll get my 3-ball multi-ball if I can get in there. There we go. Alright.
So with the Boar's Nest, you'll notice every area of the playfield has motion lights right now. That's how you know you haven't gotten that yet. Once you finish an area, the lights, like the pop bumpers, are now on solid. That's how you know that area is done. So she's got the hazard up there, but she's still got to get the creek, she's got to get the spinner, she's got to get the drop targets, the waterfall, the oil slick in this game. Once all of those have got, then these drops fall. And like she said, if you hit this drop target while you're in the multi-ball, it'll double part of your bonus at the end if you finish. So you gotta hit it, I think, 4 times to
Yeah,
do
it's
that.
4. I think we're gonna change that rule, but right now it's 4. I think we'll make like every one 20% or something.
Alright, so now she's just gotta get the spinner.
Yeah, I saw I hit a drop target there, just pop right back up. Spinner. All right,
There you go.
Oh, no.
Not enough.
Not enough.
You gotta get a 11, 12 spins, something
Yeah, it's
like
like
that.
12.
So now we mentioned you can carry those other 2 multi-balls into this mode. You can't start them in this mode though. So once you've got to either carry them in or you've got to wait until this is over to try again.
Now, I'm not in a multi-ball anymore, but this mode finishes until we're done. Either I drain out or I finish it.
Yeah, so you don't lose this Boar's Nest even though you're down to 1 ball.
I just need the spinner.
That's close.
Yeah. So I had a big collect waiting for me, but I needed that spinner.
Brad 2000, thank you. I appreciate that.
Still counting up bonus?
And Dragon, everyone that said it's great, thank you so much.
What's up, Roland? You know, if you're around, come on down here after the stream's over. It's going to be available for public play.
I'm gonna
Until
hurry
10
up
p.m. tonight.
This is running really weird.
Yeah, it's running a little slow right now. We haven't seen that before either.
Part of the reason we wanted to bring this here today wasn't just to show off and let everybody play it, but was also to get feedback, find the bugs that we've missed so far, because we play it a little bit, but mostly we're working on the code and testing a thing and back, and so really getting like 4-player games going and people running it, we're gonna find things that we just would have never found. So this is kind of our alpha,
Good deal.
real world.
Well, I guarantee you a bunch of fantastic testers will be out here.
Yep. So this bonus countdown, for whatever reason, is going ridiculously slow. I don't know what this
I like
is.
the banjo. It reminds me of home. Right about now, the Duke boys didn't realize what they had gotten themselves into.
Right.
It was that super bonus. I had it over 30 and got the 5X, and it's really making a show on it.
Right.
This does, like Paragon, carry those 20, 30, 40 super bonuses over ball to ball. Unlike Paragon, because it does remember the drop target progress, you'll retain your bonus multipliers ball to ball unless you get all the way to 5X, in which case it'll reset.
Ooh.
He was talking about that yesterday. He says, but I'm not going out there. This is a condition I haven't seen before. Where it kind
This is
of,
what happens when you stream, is you find all of the things.
that's our perfect alpha
That's
test.
live TV.
All right. For whatever, okay,
right.
I can tell now it's back to normal speed. So
Yeah.
whatever that was. All right.
A little time warp.
They want to know if it's using a slide rule to add up the bonus.
Olivia? Yeah. I don't know the answer to this. Is it using a slide rule to add the
Oh, that's
bonus?
a joke.
The answer is no.
Oh. I'm sorry. I feel stupid now. Joke did not sink in. All right, so right now I've got this qualified. I could start that, but I've also got the creek ready. So if I get that creek shot, I'm gonna get that multi-ball that I could potentially carry in. I'm also one away from Hazard, so I could potentially bring everything in. So we'll see what happens here.
2 shots to Hazard, yeah, that'll get you going there too.
No luck. Oh, here we go. What is going on? Okay. There we go. Alright. So let's see if I can get up there.
Alright, Hazard is qualified.
So all these audio clips that we put in the game, like you just heard maybe that I think I hit a jackpot. Jake sat with a tablet and watched episodes of the show and recorded times of clips that he felt might be useful. Put it all in a big spreadsheet for us, and then I sat there,
Pulled him down.
pulled him out, and got him going.
Oh, thank you, House Hardy, for all
House
the
Hardy
bits.
is in the chat. I am beside myself. Thank you so much for the bits.
Turn the power up on that. Now,
turn.
in this case, I'm not going to come back in chase mode started. I'm going to have to earn that again.
You have your ball back.
Oh, that's right, I forgot.
Remember, if you don't start the 3-ball multi-ball, you get
Yep.
that ball back.
Yep.
So you can earn it again.
Man, this rule set is absolutely stunning.
So part of the reason the reason the 3-ball multi-ball works the way it does is because we wanted no lock stealing.
There we go.
And we didn't want to leave anything locked when the next player came on. These saucers are not ball locks. I mean, they're saucers.
But you can tell that was designed by some
Yeah.
tournament players.
Well, that and it's just a mechanical issue. If we leave
Right,
balls
yeah, if you've got a
there-
ball in that saucer and player 2
get
steps
stuck.
up, now it's in their way, and
So
how do we handle that? So yeah, we very specifically made it so that there was no ball carryover turn to turn.
And that's one of the fun things for doing a retheme for Kaydee and I. How much can we squeeze into the constraint of, in this case, what the Paragon playfield is? Because we're not redesigning that playfield. We changed a couple little mechs. We had a multi-ball, but from the top it looks the same. It is. So we kind of needed to stay with what we had. We see it in a time warp or something. I have not seen this condition. There you go. Looks like you started Hazard multi-ball. It's really slow when the multi-ball starts.
Well, that also happens every time you move a game.
Yes.
One thing we have not done is played a lot of 4-player games. Obviously, only being 2 of us. We did queue some up just to see what would happen, but it's not something we did a lot, so that may have something to do with this too. I don't know.
Okay.
So, like, what should I be aiming for right now? Inline drops are always a
So inline drops are always your target. The saucers are the other big ones to get those other multi-balls going for sure.
Okay.
You
Looks
do
like-
still have all the other things from Paragon that carry over. So like the drop targets on the right will advance that bonus amount and eventually get you to the special, which you will score over at the oil slit. So a lot of base Paragon
This is
rules
the
are
oil
still there.
slit.
Yeah.
We just added 2.
Okay. Is it my turn? All right. So this is it. This is.
Yeah, I think this is it. We're just getting we're getting our time warp.
So, Berto's asking what this is all running on again. And
Yeah, so I'll give the short version. Yeah, so this is
get
a.
over here.
So the software this is built on is called Mission Pinball Framework (MPF). That does all of the low-level control for you, but lets you.
Maybe a ball save.
Looks like you expired that time.
That was it. Okay.
That's your ball save light right there, the escape again. There's also a shoot again light that'll flash in the back glass.
Cool. So it's a mission pinball.
So yeah, Mission Pinball Framework is the software that lets you build out the logic without having to deal with all the real low-level talking to hardware code.
We've got
Okay.
a high score
Then on
problem
top of that,
again.
you need a controller board system. We use Cobra Pin. And finally, you've got to have some sort of a computer to run it all. We've got a little upboard in there, which I'm wondering if we've exceeded its RAM, because it's only got 4 gigs of RAM.
Can you upgrade
And
that?
I don't think you can on the upboard. You'd have to replace it. We're actually looking at possibly using a Latte Panda on our next one. I don't know, but what ends up happening is, you've got the operating system's got to sit in that memory, you got MPF and all of your code's got to sit in that memory, but it also loads in all the audio so that it's fast as you're playing.
Okay.
And between all of it, it might be stressing the RAM, and that might be what's going on here.
So it's probably a good time for a reboot.
Yeah,
That
we'll
might
go ahead
be
and
a good
reboot
time
it.
to take a little tour around the machine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's
Turn up
do
the
it.
volume a little bit.
Yeah,
as
we can do
well.
that too.
The
Comes
arcade
back
has got
up. Yeah.
very, very loud.
If you want to take that auxiliary camera and look at some of the
Yeah.
side art.
Let's actually, I'm going to move this. And I think the best thing, we'll just take this.
That is okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're still booting up, but if you want to look at some of the art on the side or on the
Oh,
front here.
oh, yeah.
Look, when it boots up, the coin door will light up, so we'll want to definitely see that.
The folks can see all the gear.
Yeah, we have all the gear here.
And once we've done the tour here, we'll actually
Check
go
out the
ahead and-
topper.
It's a good time to open it up and show the insides too.
All right, let's open it up.
Yeah, so we've got the lit coin doors here. It's always going to be on free play. But, inside is where we do any of our adjustments. There's actually a little 4-inch screen in there, so we don't have the sort of old guessing numbers on the display things. We will go ahead and turn the volume up.
So you have like a Stern style.
Yeah, we got the 4 button, like you see in a new Stern. This little screen in here, though, since there's not an LCD display up top. So, but if we wanted to, change how many balls per game, or all those types of adjustments, we have here. Ball save time and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's difficulty stuff in here. There's coil adjustments to make
power.
coils more or less powerful. Tests
Feature
for
adjustments. We can turn the inline drop target memory off, so the game is a bit harder. They've got some settings for the boar's nest mode, how many times you have to hit things, the chase, how hard it is to speed up the ball. Every multi-ball's got its own ball save time, which is all set pretty easy right now. But
Let's keep it on easy.
yeah, we'll leave it there for now. But and then we've got all of our standard sort of audits and diagnostics and all that kind of stuff available from here. It was just a lot easier than what you usually see on this era of games. Is you've got a list in the manual, you've got numbers up on the displays, and you're gonna go, okay, setting number 23 is how many balls per game. So but Jake wanted to keep the old school feel of the segment displays and not have a modern LCD up there. So this was our compromise. All of the setup stuff can be done from little LCD inside, yet we still have the old school segment display look and feel up there. So I have maxed out the volume. And
Conrad is impressed with how clean it all looks, and Ski-Doo wants to see the side art because they were making salads.
yeah, let's take a quick look at the side art, and then we can look at a little of the technology inside of that
Out of the
box.
way here.
There we go. All right, are we going to look in the back box?
Yeah, let's take a
Yeah,
quick
so
look.
first you can see the custom displays we built here. If you were looking at the backside, you'd see them just loaded with chips and stuff, but just nice little straightforward displays worked really well for us. But these were custom design. We actually had to learn how to design PCBs for this game. We'd never done it before. So that was kind of part of the process. Designing them, packaging them up so that they can be shipped to a manufacturer. All of that was first time step for us.
We made some new friends at JCL PCB in China, I think it is, yeah, so.
Right, so in the back box here, there's a couple things. Here we've got our little upboard and our little custom case running. This is that Cobra pin board. See what used to be like a whole bunch of different power regulation systems and old pins, like all the modern Sterns. This is very compact. Just got a couple of standard power supplies for high voltage and low voltage. Over here you can see one of our custom boards we made to control a lot of the controlled lighting. Yeah, that's the back box.
Very clean.
Yeah, and that was a goal for us with this, especially since it wasn't, if you take apart the black hole, it's not like this, because we were rushing and it was just for us and we didn't care, but since this was for a customer, we wanted to do it right.
Are you going to be so ambitious as to go under the hood?
Yes.
All right.
So we got our glass corners here. You guys haven't seen these. It's a little model you can get off Thingiverse. Little rubber corners you can print in TPU.
Right, and we use them all the time. They made some for us, and they are amazing. We use them in the arcade all the time.
Yeah, if anyone's ever put glass on concrete, you probably have a good idea of how easily that will make tempered glass shatter into a billion little pieces. So these little corners let you put the glass down without having that problem.
Let's get our sticker here. It is a 4-ball game.
Yeah, we even went so far as to put that on there.
Oh,
This is actually, I forgot one of the other custom 3D printed parts. We had to add a trough eject kicker, so that the multi-ball would work right and ball save would work right.
Sure.
And the original little metal covers that they used on these just were too in the way, so that was a custom design part that we had to make.
Nice.
Let's go ahead and get under here. I'll just hold this up so you can see better. But you can see a lot like you would expect from a modern game. We've got most all of the lighting is on individual little light boards. That allowed us to cut the wiring down considerably to just these handful of signal wires like you'd see in a modern Stern with the network cables or whatnot for their node boards. All the lighting is done in a very similar way. But here we've got for the GI lighting and the things that didn't make sense to be on one of these boards, we've got another one of these custom controller boards that all those lights are wired into. See, here's where all these crimps come into play. 4 per every light on each end, so 8 total every time you want to hook a light up.
I've
But
done
yeah.
a lot of crimping, so I
Yeah.
feel you.
So
And we
you-
tried to route the wires real
You
clean.
guys engineered these PCBs,
Yes.
right?
Yep, from scratch.
Unbelievable.
That was the first time we'd ever done anything like that. You can see we got the multi-ball trough here, and like I said, the standard out hole drain is here, but once it detects that, it kicks it over, and these are the switches that actually register the drain. This is just a delivery mechanism, the way we've used it. Here you can kind of see, if you can get the camera down here, this is the custom 3D printed part that we did to add these knockdown coils, and then they needed a custom arm designed so that when that fires, it knocks down the end lines. So that was all a custom design that we did for this. We also, having put these lights under here, you'll notice these funny looking lights. Under the star rollovers, a modern light tended to have just one really big hot spot, and the light looked really terrible.
Sure.
So we built these little diffusers and printed them in clear plastic, which comes out kind of a cloudy look, but
Very
diffuses
cool.
the light and gives the whole thing a nice glow. So that was a nice little touch.
The detail in this build is absolutely amazing.
And,
Love
and,
this.
and I really want you to notice all the wire colors.
Yes,
The
we-
switch matrix, every row's got its own color, every column's got its own color,
Oh,
every
it's
Every
beautiful.
coil's got its own color stripe wire, and we found a source online for that, because normally these wires are really hard to find, especially in more than 4 colors combinations,
Right.
So we found a company, 4R Customs, that lets
Oh.
you order all kinds of crazy stuff. So every switch, every coil's got a custom colored wire going to it, so that we can build a manual essentially for Jake. For anyone that needs to repair this in the future, they're going to have all that information
This
available.
game will not live in our house. So, our
The people that work on machines are swooning right now.
our end user needs to be able to make
I
on-site
love,
repairs.
I love the service port.
Yep, and down here we got the standard service outlet. Power strip I'm going to do something a little more elegant with eventually. We do have, this is another little custom. So these older games had a single speaker in the bottom, and that was it. We knew with a lot of voices, though, it was going to sound terrible. So this is just a sub now on a 2.1 channel amp. This is the same amp Spooky uses in their games. But where would you put the upper speakers on this? We had already had the back glass made, so that was kind of an interesting. I'm going to go ahead and drop this now. Show that to you. So you'll notice here in the neck, which would normally be on these old games that the back box got really hot, that let the air in so that it could vent out. Instead, we've got two little speakers stashed behind that.
I
some
can
little
see
ports.
'em.
So that's where
Yeah.
the high end of the 2.1 channel split comes out.
Very
so that
cool.
you can actually hear what's happening in the game a lot better than you would have with the normal design. And that was another custom 3D printed part to hold those speakers there in that neck opening.
This is such an incredible build. There's so many little things that, I have rethemed a game in the past, and that ended basically at like making it look totally different and, whatever. But this is just like 12 steps beyond that. I am so impressed.
Yeah,
and I'm
this
not
is
just
a-
saying that because, you're
I
here,
appreciate that.
but this is really, really
This is a big
exciting.
leap for us from the black hole. The black hole was in itself a big leap from anything we'd done before, but we knew we wanted to push it farther this time. So that's where that custom PCB design came in. That's where lots of custom 3D printed parts to modify things came in. Really making that extra effort, like I said, with the wiring to get the color-coded wires and get them really organized well and secured. We even thought about how to design it so that you can unplug just a minimum amount of things from the back box if you need to take the head off completely, so that's a fairly easy thing to do. Just a lot of thought into those little details based on stuff that pained us when we made the last one, and we just knew we didn't do the way we wanted to. The next game we make is just going to be another step.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm
It's,
super excited about that.
We'll book you here for the stream now.
Awesome.
All right.
You want to get back to some more playing?
Yeah, let's get the
Yeah, let's
first
get
guy.
I think there might be some questions in the chat. We can answer those while
Yeah, we
Caleb's
just have- so I
getting-
can-
We did have a question about where the wire came from.
Okay. So the wire came from a company, and this is the number 4, the letter R, 4R Custom Wires. They have a website. They have lots of different packages pre-made for you that they can ship like next day. But if you want to customize it completely, they'll do that for you too. Lengths, color combinations, whatever. It takes a little longer to get it, but the price was fantastic. They've got them in different gauges for whatever you need. And obviously, you want a bigger gauge for the coils than you do for your switches. But yeah, 4R Custom Wires. It was such a fantastic find. I was thrilled.
Thank you, Dan, for the bits. We appreciate it. It sounds like somebody just won the lottery in the next room. I'm not sure if that's coming through on the stream, but there's some serious excitement.
Looks like we have another question about a fold-down head. I mean, we can take the bolts out for moving and stuff, but we didn't add a hinge or anything like that. So it's pretty much the same as any other Paragon of the era.
Yeah, this game really, once it gets to Jake's house, it's not going to be up
It'll be
and
at a
down,
show
up and
here
down.
and there.
Yeah, it'll,
Yeah,
hopefully
we-
it'll show up at ZapCon.
Yeah, for anyone that's interested and couldn't make it here today, Jake's, we've already talked to him. This is going to be, along with our black hole, it'll be at the Starfighters Pinball Festival in February, and also at ZapCon in April. So you'll have
Come to Arizona. We have a
several
lot of
chances
stuff.
to get your hands on both this and our previous custom. I don't think we'll have our third one playable by then.
No.
That's a little much. We always have like about a 2-month decompression period after we finish one of these because it is so much work.
I hear you. All right, let's play some more games.
All right, let's get some more games in. Let's do another 4-player game and see if we get our time warp feature again. Hopefully not.
All right, so we got the question again, who did the playfield printing? That again was classic playfield reproductions, art done by Mad Voodoo, Stu, through their custom shop.
We would definitely love to see a Fliptronic game.
Yes. Let's get on that, Rebecca.
Yes. So,
I'm going to be player 2 today. Let's see if I can hit that skill shot just like one time today. That would be awesome.
oh, there's Rebecca.
For those of you who can't see, we've got an army of pinball people over here behind the barricade, threatening to tear it down.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep them out as long as we can here, but
we actually have people who drove all the way from California just to play this thing.
Wow.
And they are waiting.
Oh, look at that. That was a good save.
So I think Jordan wants to work on the game.
Jordan wants to work on it?
Wants to build his own game. Okay. Oh, you want to go third?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
I was just going to show. So I mentioned we're going to give away for whoever gets the highest score today. Thanks to Moto's Glass, we've got an etched Dukes of Hazzard flask that we're going to give away. And then we're going to give, throughout the day, just some random drawings. We're going to keep track of who's played and put them into a wheel spin. And we've
Very
got these
cool.
little etched glass jars.
That's a moonshine jar.
Moonshine jar, yes.
Yeah.
That was very
Hey,
intentional.
I recognize that.
Yep, and we got the Dukes of Hazzard colors, but this font of the Dukes of Hazzard you see here is not what was on the title card of the show, but this is kind of known as the Daisy Dukes of Hazzard logo,
Oh, that's right.
and that's what's on.
From the new movie, right?
I don't know.
Okay. So I'm thinking that's the original one, right? The one on
Yes,
the screen.
the one on the screen is the original.
There's several different logos.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's the Daisy Duke logo, and that's why we've got the cute little ribbons on here with these. So yeah,
So
some
Ja-
lucky folks will be taking these home today.
So Jake, did you have a Catherine Bach poster in your room? I didn't either.
I did have Elvira go.
Oh, there we go.
So we did have a question. I think they might have been asking about us to tell them a little more about where you can see more about the designers. So you do see our logo on the left side there, Outpost Kodelia. There is a Facebook page with that name, Outpost Kodelia. That's also the name of our arcade, which is in our house. We do a couple tournaments every year that we open to the public. Also, there is a pinside thread for this machine on Dukes of Hazzard. If you post there, I will see it. So that's probably the two places where you can contact us. Definitely on the Facebook page, you can see some stuff that we've done before with Black Hole, some of the other restorations we've done. And if you're in the Arizona area and you play in any of the pinball tournaments, we do 2 big events a year at our house. The next one's going to be in March. And we'll be posting details on that Outpost Kodelia Facebook page.
Very cool. Maybe we should come stream there. That'd be fun.
Certainly could.
Yeah. All right, let me try to win this thing.
If you're asking about the mics, we don't have a separate game mic hooked up, so there isn't a way to differentiate that sound. We can keep turning the game sound up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've turned the software volume up all the way, but there are some other things we can do in a little bit to get it louder still. So we'll tackle that in a bit.
Keep an eye on the screen to see if they ask.
Hey Dalton, be sure to clip that one.
Can you paste the link to our Facebook page? Or I can just tell you what it is. Okay.
Oh, this is Katie's turn. Katie is posting the link in chat for their Facebook page. Rebecca has Backbox Pinball Podcast, and they might like to have you guys on the podcast. She's awesome. Does Fliptronic and does that podcast, and you can vote for her as well as us for Twippies.
Backbox.
Backbox.
We were listening to Backbox. Rebecca, thank you so much for the shout out. We were actually listening to you guys talk while we were having dinner, and all of a sudden you mentioned us. It felt so good. I have goosebumps right now.
Any mention of Kale, when Kale gets to hear his own name, it's a good day.
That was not a tap pass. Sorry.
First, yeah, it's Olivia's turn.
Yeah, I was first. Alright. Let's see if I actually do something this time. A skill shot anyway. This one first drop. Okay. That's going down, but I've got my ball saved. No, you can't get the skill shot again on the ball save.
You can or cannot?
No, you cannot.
I was wondering that earlier.
Nope.
I got an auto plunge, but was wondering if I would have quick plunged it myself if I could have.
No, skill shot's not enabled after it's a pretty long ball save because the ball it's set to 12 seconds, which is pretty long, but it can take quite a bit of time for the ball to make it down. This is a wide body. It's an older, little bit slower playing game. But no skill shot on the ball stage.
Hey Kale, can you? I can be quiet for a little bit and maybe hold this mic up to the speaker so that the people could hear what's going on.
Oh, okay.
Are you kidding me? Quit stalling and let's get rolling.
Yeah, if you take too long to plunge.
I think we off to a good start.
And if you take way too long to plunge, and it does several of those, and when you finally do plunge, it tells you not to take that long again. Failed tap pass again.
Maybe if we get a few subs, we can afford another microphone, huh? But we always do. Anytime you guys sub to us, we roll all of that money back into making the stream better, buying equipment and cameras and lights. That's one of the newest things. We just bought a bunch of new lights for this show. Next time we will have two mics. We'll get
We'll make sure that we do.
we'll talk to the Fliptronics folks and see what they suggest. And maybe you can finally get that mixing board you wanted.
And a mixing board.
Yeah, maybe later when we get people just playing, we can put the mic down by the speaker and just leave it there.
Yeah, they said it sounded great when I did that.
I will.
You want to go ahead and do it?
Yeah.
You should. Maybe they want to hear me.
Oh, okay. You can talk. People love to hear you talk.
I'll tell
And
you
then
what.
after your turn, because Olivia can play for a really long time.
Right.
People will get to hear all of the sound effects. People would probably like to hear her talk too, but you know.
No. so much. Jay Swizzle. Where are you, Jay Swizzle? You're a world traveler.
I'm gonna move this mic down to the.
You want me to hook it up? All right, I am moving the mic toward the speaker so you guys can hear this gameplay.
Let us know if you can't hear us afterwards.
Sometimes it doesn't even pay to get out of bed.
One of the things we've got, it's actually a setting so you can set how difficult it is, but whether your ball is good or bad, based on your final score, you got a ball save.
You mean to tell me I don't
It'll
get to
play
arrest
different
nobody?
clips that are either like, oh, dang it, or great job. So you could even put some special requests for some things that only play on certain days, like, Fridays. There's some quotes that talk about it being Friday, or some quotes about nighttime that'll only play after a certain time of day. So, yeah.
I hate to break this to you, but so far you ain't
Well,
doing
and
too
even
great
if
of a
the
job.
app itself isn't letting you do something like that, you can always write custom code that plugs in the app. We actually learned Python to work with NPM.
Yeah, later today, let's do
Ain't we all doing
right.
it?
Alright, let's see what I can
I do see someone asking about the PlayStation 2 Dukes of Hazzard game, and there's a good reason why someone might think of that game. That's where most of the background music comes from. Trying to take music from the show, there was always a lot of other stuff going on. So we sort of randomize the background normal play music using the PS2 soundtrack. All right, we look forward to hearing from you about that stream.
So I see somebody asking there about the PS2 game. Yep, and no, haven't played it, but as I did mention earlier for anyone that was on the stream, the music in the game is actually from that game. There was a whole soundtrack compiled for that, and that's the music that's in here. Unless you get into the Boar's Nest mode, then it's the theme song.
Looks like KO won this round.
I can't believe it. I did it again. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the subs. We really appreciate it. Thank you for the bits, Becca. You guys are awesome.
So, are we gonna?
What's the plan?
I think we probably let a few people play.
Okay.
Kind of answer any questions and kind of use that to sort of wrap up.
Let's roll.
So
We're
play.
gonna bring some fans in to play, and keep ask any questions you want. The developers are still here, and I'll be around. If you have any questions for me, always tag me in there. Let me know what's up.
Yeah, we're opening it up.
Okay, so we're gonna open it up now. Do we want to move the mics over by the game so people can hear?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
All right, let me try to make that happen.
Well, we'll figure we'll move it closer to the speaker so you can hear the game more.
You want to put that by the?
That's what I'm doing.
Okay, yeah, I'll take care of it.
So you guys made this?
Yeah, so we did all the wiring, the code, everything. We didn't do the artwork. Did the artwork.
Very cool.
Yeah, it started as a Paragon. All new rules, all new hardware, all new wiring, and new play field.
I think it's beer o'clock. You want one?
Sure. All right. Yeah, so just go ahead. It's free play. Just go ahead and hit the start button. Let's see. Are you in on this one?
Is that too distracting right there?
Yeah. All right. We got 2.
Hey, hi, fellas.
Gonna kick my butt, is he? Who you calling chicken turkey?
All right. We got 4.
Lord have mercy! It's them again! Think we off to a good start.
Player ball save. Hey, you had a ball save, but I'm playing it. Too late. It's okay, too late. Don't worry. That wasn't mine.
Hey, boss! Roscoe, we're gonna bust you this time. You mean to tell me I don't get to arrest nobody?
Nope.
Jesse, I think you blew it.
Still playing for it.
You're killing me! Hey, boss! This is Roscoe. We're gonna bust you within 5 minutes. Over. Enos, this is Roscoe. Now you head up from the south and we'll get between a rock and a hard place.
Sometimes things just work out, and sometimes they doesn't.
You know, it's beginning to look to me like we took the wrong road.
Well, that's handy.
You know, it's beginning to look to me like we took the wrong road.
Are you kidding me?
It is raining air.
Thank you, I know. Not this time.
But so far you ain't doing too great of a job. Hold on now. You're all about to go to Hazzard County Airport.
Hey, gave it back! What's the matter with me? Give it back!
Things look bad, but they could get worse, and probably will.
Tell me I don't get to arrest nobody?
Nope. You know, Bo, this just ain't our day.
Well, that's handy.
Hey, boy, this is Roscoe. We're gonna fight for this Bible.
Seeing the Duke behind bars is my favorite form of entertainment.
All right, I'm still in the lead. And let's go.
Hold on now. Y'all about to join the Hazzard County Airport.
Enid, this is Roscoe. Now you head up from the south and we'll get you between a rock and a hard place. Sometimes it doesn't even pay to get out of bed.
Hold on now. Y'all about to join the Hazzard County Airport. took the wrong road.
Numbskull. Which one? It's quick. I love it.
Let's start the next round. So we've got Matt Yoga Pants.
Welcome to the Carnival of Thrills.
Hey, listen, y'all want to join us for a pit stop?
Oh God, I'm Tammy. Don't even know the rules.
Get on.
Going in.
You know, it's beginning to look to me like we took the wrong road.
Well, this is Hazzard County.
I think we off to a good start.
Jesse, I think you blew it.
Skill shot. That's the basic skill shot. Roll over that, but then more points do I roll over that one and then that one. Even more points do I roll over that and that.
Sometimes it doesn't even pay to get out of bed.
Yeah. Wonderful game. Save on Paragon.
Things look bad, but they could get worse. And probably will.
We talked about adding sensor
Quit stalling and let's get rolling.
Hold on now. Y'all are about to go into Hazzard County Airport. Eaters, this is Roscoe. Now you head up from the south and we'll get between a rock and a hard place.
Okay, everybody.
We've got another one. Oh, I'm telling you, this speed trap's paying off like a jackpot.
I think I hit the jackpot.
In case you hadn't thought of it, Jensen's Bridge is still out, you know. No sweat, cousin, because I jumped that creek a dozen times.
I think I hit the jackpot.
We've got another one. Oh, I'm telling you, this speed trap's paying off like a jackpot.
Better to ride at Disneyland.
Hey, boss, this is Roscoe. We're gonna bust you in 5. Are you kidding me?
I know, right?
Hey, boss, this is Roscoe. We're gonna bust you in 5.
Hey, gave it back!
Lucky again, boss.
What's the matter with me?
They gave it back.
Sometimes things just work out, and sometimes they doesn't.
Yikes. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a comment on the stream about keeping the original bonus carryover. We tried to keep as much of the original rules as possible and just add. So there's, the way the special works here is all the same. Adding these up works the same. It's just we added
you
to
out
everything.
there when
so
you should be
everything
in
that was
here?
here is generally still here. It's just more of it.
Bumpers is still here. The flippers is still here.
All right, hurry up, man.
It's very nice. Very impressive.
Hey, boys. We're gonna bust one in 5 minutes.
You know, Bo,
I know, God.
this just ain't our day.
Ain't we off to a good start? Well, that's handy.
This is terrible. It is really terrible. Come on, get this thing started. Move it, move it. You better get on out of here.
Keep this moving.
Ain't we off to a good start?
See the Dukes behind us, my favorite foe, the thief. Combination, are you? Come in.
Hold on now. You're going to Hazzard County Airport.
Eat it. This is Roscoe. Now you head up from the south and we'll get between a rock and a hard place. I'm gonna get them Duke boys. I love it. Numbskull.
to get one more game in.
Look at
Oh,
that.
who's our player 2? Player 2, right here. Score.
Oh, what?
So flipper buttons and start button advance. So you can do up to six entries. And then your start button right there will advance. Set the bar. And then if that's all you want to do, then find the asterisk, and the asterisk will end it. There you go. Nice job.
Wow. Set the bar. Nice job.
All right, so if we've got anyone who hasn't played yet and still wants to play, go ahead and sign in on the sheet. We can get into our first drawing, and we can take a few more players. Okay. Anyone who hasn't played yet wants to get in?
Play?
You're not going to play?
Go ahead. Yes, you
Yeah,
are.
just sign in.
Oh, just sign yes.
We're going to sign in because we're going to do the drawings for everything. We've got some Dukes of Hazzard.
You just need to put your birthday and your social. Sign in. Here, put your blood. Yeah.
Moonshine.
Jason, quick Xerox of that.
Oh, okay.
Just like come sign in, be player 4.
Adam, what's up?
Come sign in, be player 4.
Oh, all right.
Why don't you go ahead and start a 4-player game and get us going?
Oh, here we
I love it.
You see, at Hazards, the competing starts way before the race does. Like they always say, the family that plays together stays together. Like they always say, the family that plays together stays together.
Hey, listen, y'all want to join us?
All right, hurry up, man. He will. Gonna kick my butt, is he? Just get on with it.
Ain't we off to a good start?
I hate to break this to you, but so far you ain't doing too great of a job.
Enos, you got your ears on. Enos, are you out there when you should be in here? Come on. Hey, boss, this is Roscoe. We're gonna fight for the five.
This is Hazard County.
Really?
we off to a good start?
Oh. Oh, you got ball safe?
Yeah, you got ball safe.
They gave it back! What's the matter with me? They gave it back!
Things look bad, but they could get worse, and probably will. Think we off to a good start?
You're killing me!
Hold on now. Y'all are about to join the Hazzard County Airport.
Okay, everybody.
You know, it's beginning to look to me like we took the wrong road. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get them before. I love it. As they go by here, we're gonna be on them like a duck on a jukebox.
This is Hazzard County.
Hold on now. Y'all are about to join the Hazzard County Airport.
You mean to tell me I don't get to arrest nobody?
Nope.
Okay, everybody.
We got another one. Oh, I'm telling you, this speed trap's paying off like a jackpot. I think I hit the jackpot. You know, it's beginning to look to me like we took the wrong road. Enos, this is Roscoe. Now you head up from the south and we'll get you to the rock and a hard place. start.
Are you kidding me?
You might be able to talk into it.
This is terrible. It is really terrible.
Alright, you got your escape ready at that saucer up there. Without any escape crossover.
Jesse, I think you blew it.
I'm gonna get them big boys. I love it. You're killing me.
Sometimes things just work out, and sometimes they doesn't.
Seeing the Dukes behind bars is my favorite form of entertainment.
I don't know if I can take Tommy on this one, man.
Come on, bring it faster.
Sometimes it doesn't even pay to get out of bed. I did it, Chicken. I want to try it with my eyes open.
Good job, Tommy.
That's the most brilliant thing I've ever seen since instant grits.
Player one.
Armory.
So just go ahead and use the flipper buttons and the start button. As soon as you hit the first flipper, put in your name there. And up to 6 letters.
Oh.
Yeah, bottom right.
Leads it in.
Right, so that'll be your enter button, start button there. And then you pick the next letter. And that star at the end, that's when you're done. So pick star to finish.
And then star, right?
Yeah, just pick the star and that'll complete it.
Yeah.
There you go. Great.
Okay. Let me move the mic back over here.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. You can't keep people from putting money in pinball.
There's only 5,000 coins.
Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to break all the gear down and join everybody in the celebration of this amazing game being here. If you are in town, this game will be here until, I believe, 10. Is that correct, Kaydee? They'll be here till 10. They can answer your questions. We have food here, beer, liquor. What else? Pinball.
Well, today there's
there's more than just this game here.
We got the punk rock swap meet going on today as well.
Right.
So
You come here,
huge
buy
party.
some vintage clothing, jewelry,
records,
vinyl. Anyhow, thank you so much, Olivia.
We've got a few giveaways we're doing today too.
Oh.
We've got the Moto Glass Dukes of Hazzard jars suitable for your moonshine. We're going to be giving away a few of those randomly throughout the day to people who've played the game. And we do have a flask. Moto Glass. High score of the day, we've got the Dukes of Hazzard launch flask. From Moto Glass, etched with the Dukes of Hazzard logo and our logo on the back. You can't really see because of the ribbon, but I swear it's there. So high score of the day is getting the flask, and we'll do anyone who plays will be entered in drawings for these.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Kaydee and Olivia. Please check out Outpost Kodelia on Facebook. On Facebook.
There's a Pinside thread about this particular game. Check that out. And don't forget, go to twippies.com and vote for us for favorite location. Also vote for Backbox as favorite podcast.
We love
who else?
people that you like, but mostly
Keith. Well, our boy Keith.
Oh,
he needs another Twippy.
He needs more awards. Vote for us. We like that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. Come on down. Come play the game. It's here, and we're having a great time for the rest of the day. Thank you all so much.
Vote for us in the next year's Twippies for this.
Yes, the 2022 Twippies. All right.